Mawasa, Yahabashi, Shakda.
Yeah, how about Shimei Shai, bro? Sada?
Hear me to what? To the volume.
Open up the mic some more.
Okay, we're only on YouTube today. We're not on not on YouTube. Bear with me 1 second. Alright, we're not on Facebook. Baby Islam, Yahabashi, Shakda. Yahabashi, Shai. With the ISUPK started at 1 West, 1 to the Fish Street Park, New York, under commanding General Yohana. And for 1969, we teach the truth according to the Bible that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are real Jews according to the Bible, and that they're oppressing the devil. And that when the black man's gonna be on top one day, and Salakia will be on top. That's a fact. But any questions, any comments, make sure you type them in, put them on the line. Shalom Ty, powerful reading for me today. Trooper Mawasa. So that he's the closer. Yeah, no. So we're gonna get into a few topics. So one topic is a lot of things is people go to the Christian church and they hear about people speaking in tongues, and legend has it speaking in tongues is some mythological holy language that only the angels speak. So you go to church on Sunday and you hear your pastor speaking some gibberish, man, some hashkala bashkala. You think, wow, that nigga's holy, man. He's holy. He's speaking this language that I can't speak in. I'm gonna show you according to the Bible, all that is tricks, man. All that is magic tricks, trickery. You know how you go to a magician. You know how back in the world you have a birthday party, and you go, your parents might hire a magician, and the magician would sneak some cards up his sleeve, or the magician would tell you, listen, pick a card, and the card is an ace of hearts, and then and then the magician will pull your card out of the deck and say, "This is your card." Like, yo, how do you know? And what do people say? It's never magic. They say, yeah, it's always always some trick, man. It's called a magic trick. There's a way that he got your card. And likewise with the Christian church, man. It's all tricks and trickery. You go to your pastor, and your pastor goes, listen, I can read your future. You're having a hard time right now, but don't worry, it's gonna be good. God's gonna come through. You feel, whoa. The pastor said that I'm having a hard time right now, man. Listen, that's trickery, man. What black man ain't having a hard time, man? That's right. What black woman ain't burying their sons, man? What black man ain't on child support problems or women problems, man? What black man has the best job of his time, the best job of his life? Sorry, none of us do. And all that is tricks, man. They'll teach you if you go to theologian or seminary school, man. And what they'll do is this: they play on the black people's emotions, they play the tambourine, the drums, get black people feeling, ooh, I feel nice, man. And you leave the church thinking you got felt the spirit, man, and you didn't feel the spirit, man. What you felt was drums, man. Let me tell you something. There's something in black people, man. It's called the vibe and the spirit, man. And we can't help ourselves when the drums start beating. Our shoulders, we can't help it, man. Just naturally, like man, be having a bad day, just shoes up, people just, oh, it's just natural, man. And your pastors are real wizards, man. They are wizards and witches, and they know how the black body works, man. They know when grandma goes to church, starts banging that tambourine on their foot. Yo, listen, the Jamaicans can bang a tambourine good. I don't want to hear it. Banging it, you feel, yo, start to smile, head start to bang, and you feel, oh, that's the spirit of God. I feel so down today. I'm gonna come today, and the Lord made me feel so happy. I feel good. Let me tell you something, black man. God is not about being happy, man. God is about fixing problems, man. God is about solving stuff. Christianity makes you think that God is just about being happy, man. So like, you got the spirit because you're sad, and now you're happy. You got the spirit because you're having a hard time, now you're having a good time. That is the spirit of God, man. That is the spirit of God. Listen, the spirit of God moved on Moses to go and kill other nations, man. To go and kill other nations and get us out of the land. The spirit of God solves problems, man. It don't just make you happy. But I'm smiling now. I was down before, but now I'm smiling now. We feel that to be godly is just to be happy and happy. Sometimes the spirit of God is not to be happy. Sometimes the spirit of God, you gotta get greasy, man. And the spirit of God's in the UPK, and the UPK sometimes there's people that trespass other brothers, man. And we gotta go sort these problems out, man, and fix them. Make man, do push-ups or pay fines, whatever the case may be. We gotta fix that problem. It's not. Listen. That's the spirit of the Lord fixing the problem, man, and making the place a better place, man. It's not all about feeling happy. It's all about smiling and dancing and joking, man. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So these people study black people, man. Your pastor studies black people, emotions, and they know how to make you feel good, man. You know what I mean? If you're a man, a sexual deviant, you like other men, you go to the pastor, what they say, well, no one's perfect, man. Listen, God's all about love, man. God wants to be happy. And, even though you're with that man, technically in the Bible it's wrong, but God wants you to be happy, man. You're right, man. I'm happy doing this. Yeah, man. And you go out there living a nasty life, man. Till one day you get a text from the umbrella clinic. Is that quite nowadays? Umbrella. The umbrella clinic say that you got AIDS, man. Because you want to be happy. All these men here, they're magicians, man. They play on your emotions. They play on your emotions. They play the sad music in the back. When you watch the man's testimony and God and Jesus, look at everyone praying and screaming out to God and hugging each other. All that is playing. And guess what? That's why women are in the church more than men. Why? Because women are naturally more emotional, man. That's why you gotta grab the man. Well, what the men say, oh, my woman's pressuring me to go to church, man. Because men are more, what's the point in this, man? Women are more emotional. Even a salesman will tell you, women are emotional. Even salesmen always say what? They go for the woman, man. Men are more logical. Like you try to sell a car to a man, the man go, I got a car already. Yeah. Nah, it's fine. Yeah, don't need one, I'm fine. A woman now you say, yeah, but this car got levers. And she go, oh, you're right. That's why women will buy the same shoe twice, one in red, one in black. I got the shoe already, but I ain't got it in black though. And the same with the church, man. Women wants to go there to feel good, to feel nice, and to feel comfortable and dance and scream and shout. And meanwhile, nothing's getting sold. Nobody's getting off drugs. Nobody's, stopping their horrible life. No one's getting taught, man. How is it you go to church for like 20 years of your life and don't know nothing, man? Christians come to the camp all the time, confident too, like, yes, I'm a crush these UPK racist. Watch this. I got this. 2 seconds here. You lot are racist. You don't know what you're talking about, man. God don't hate. 2 scriptures back. You see them reevaluating their whole life in church. Yeah, but you're racist. God don't deal with one race. He deals with all races. We hit him with 2 more scriptures. Whack. And before you know, the Christians leave, man. If they don't know the Bible, but they do know the song and dance, man. Well, they do know how to dance and shuffle and play the organ. And it's a shame, man. In all them years in church, you know nothing. I used to play great games with my grandma sometimes. Say, oh, what does this mean? And watch her, just butcher scriptures and get it all wrong, man. So, oh, okay, that's cool. Christians don't know anything. It's lucky. Sorry, sir.
Now, I don't think you Michael. What I was saying was to show that the church, how you feel in there is by design and not by accident. Is that even when someone is standing up and they're speaking on their testimony, as soon as they speak, the music plays, and then they found God. Like that is playing with your emotions. So meaning the part when he's happy, you play the music to emphasize the happiness that you're playing with people's emotion, knowing what you're doing, using that, knowing what you're doing. It wasn't an accident. You're messing with people's emotions.
Like what the other one said, it's all emotional. He goes, even when you hear a man's testimony, and he goes, yeah, I used to feel sad and depressed, and one day God came in my life. You hear, ding ding. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, ooh, it feels like it's music, man. Scientifically, they said music is one of the only things that goes into your body and affects your body without your consent. Drugs and stuff, you can say, no, I'm not taking this pill, I'm not taking this medicine, I'm not taking this needle. But music has it can go in your body without your consent, and that's why they use it. It can influence how you feel, make you feel sad from being happy, make you feel happy from being sad without your consent. You can't say, I don't want to hear this. You can know a song back and forth, every single word, and you didn't go out to learn the lyrics. That's why around the Christmas time, you find yourself at slavery humming some Christmas song. You think, when did I learn this? I don't bump this in the house. I don't play it in the car. I ain't bought the CD. I didn't buy it on iTunes. I didn't buy it on Spotify. Why do I know the lyrics, man? Because it's in your body without your consent, man. When you was pushing that shopping cart in Primark, that she was playing. When you was waiting in the line in McDonald's, that she was playing, man. And now you know the words, lyric for lyric. But anyway, you could get me the speaking tongues on Wiki. It's a speaker. Without those, I would turn off. Like, 5 minutes. 6 minutes. So nice. You mouse, I'll be speaking. You can't. Any questions? Just type them in. Yeah, those. That's the name for yeah. Let's go get that here. That's fine. It's okay.
This is 6.1.
Nice one. Just read what you got there, and yeah, speaking of anyway, share that.
Sweet.
Yeah, cool, sure.
All right, so reading from the Wikipedia, speaking in tongues. Scroll down. All right. We got speaking in tongues, also known as glossolalia. Glossolalia.
So speaking in tongues, what we call today as kashkabash, ain't nothing new, man. It's also called glossolalia. You know, where people utter garbage that can't be understood. And according to the Christian church, this is a holy tongue. If you speak this, you are holy. God is with you, man. So you're in church and you see a man speaking this, what are you gonna think? Yo, he's a man of God, man, to learn up under him. This man speaking some gibberish that only God can communicate with him. Yo, this guy needs to be under, man. Keep it in.
Is a practice in which people utter words or speech like sounds, often thought by believers to be languages unknown to the speaker.
There you go. So they believe there's a language that even the speaker don't understand. God is just moving through this guy and is with him so much that he's speaking this language that no one understands. And it's mad because the language changes, man. The man next to him will speak a different language, and the pastor will speak a different language, but somehow this is all a godly language, man. It's clearly this gibberish, the clearly this mumbling and making the whole shit up, man. Keep it in.
One definition used by linguists is the fluid vocalizing of speech like syllables that lack any readily comprehended meaning. In some cases, as part of religious practice, in which some believe it to be a divine language.
There you go. And Christians believe it's some divine language that no one knows. It's divine and holy, and it's the language of God that only God understands. When we're going to show you, according to the Bible, it is bull, man. It's a lie. And they try to use, we're going to go to the scriptures that they use to back up this holy language. When the Bible talks about speaking in tongues, it's speaking about speaking in another language, man. English is a tongue. Spanish is a tongue. French is a tongue, man. That is another tongue. Speaking another tongue is a man that's bilingual, man. That's what they call it today in English. A man that speaks more than one language is called about bilingual, and that's what speaking in tongues is, man. Keep with it.
Unknown to the speaker, glossolalia is practiced in Pentecostal and charismatic Christianity.
And look at this. This glossolalia was around before Christianity. It said glossolalia is practiced in Christianity under the word speaking in tongues. This predates Christianity, man. It predates it. This ain't nothing new. People have always been, hustling people, making people think that, oh, look, I speak a holy tongue, man, to get members. It's always been that way, man. Keep it in.
As well as in other religions. Reading on some more. Sometimes a distinction is made between glossolalia and exonolalia, and exoglossy, which specifically relates to the belief that the language being spoken is a natural language.
All right, did that. We go into it. It got history and everything, man. Let's get into history real quick.
Okay, this is history of tongues. Classic antiquity. It was also commonplace idea within
there you go. Not fact. It's always been a commonplace idea. So being commonplace idea means it's always been an idea for people. Common means like the average person. It's always been common, always been likely. A lot of people always believe this. Something that the masses of people always believe. Keep it in.
Idea within the Greco-Roman world that divine beings spoke languages different from human beings.
So the same Romans that believed in Zeus, Poseidon, Cupid, they believed in a food called ambrosia that made you strong. They believed in a lot of stupid stuff, man. They believed in Hercules. They also believed in a divine language that their God spoke, that their God spoke a different language than regular people, and somehow again it is called Roman Catholicism. You know what that means, isn't it? Meaning the Catholic Church is heavily influenced by the Romans, man. That's why everything you do in the Roman Catholic Church is pagan. That's why even speaking in tongues as well comes from the Romans. It's something the Romans believed, and they put it into the Catholic Church, man. Later on, the Catholic Church put it into the Pentecostals, and now you're thinking you're wholly speaking another language. Which is a lie. You know you're lying. You know you're lying, man. Make it like, yo, Crawford, something came over me. I didn't know speaking. I thought I was speaking English. Me personally, I'll speak English, but when they ran the take back, I'll speak. Be quiet, man. It's all garbage, man. We'll show you in the Bible. It's all bull, it's nonsense. It ain't real, man. We drop that.
There's a bit more if you want it.
All right, what else?
And historians of religion have identified references to esoteric speech in Greco-Roman literature that resembles glossolalia. So,
Mm. You listen, scholars, man, this ain't crafting, man. Scholars have done the research, man. And there was a practice that people speaking in tongues way before Christianity, man. In the Greco-Roman Empire, people doing this practice. You can let this read everyone. Read it again, because they word it better than me. So like, yeah, I'm too gay. I'm to the point. The word it nice. Read that again.
and historians of religion.
So historians of religion. So you got historians that, historians that research about buildings. You got historians that do research about technology, and you got historians that research religions. They'll research what Sikh religion and where that comes from, Islam religion, what people believed in the Stone Age, what people believed in the Ice Age. You know, people believe that that Egyptians would go to the afterlife. So people actually study this.
Mhm.
There are different types of historians. There are historians that just focus on treasures. The gold in Egypt is different from the gold in Rome, or blah blah blah. But these religious historians, they did their research, man, and this is what they found out in their studies. We done.
Of religion have identified
They've identified, they found. We done.
references to esoteric speech in Greco-Roman literature
And in Greco-Roman literature, in their books, in their documents, in their libraries, they found it a similar, same like thing, man. Keep it in,
that resembles glossolalia.
and it resembles speaking in tongues. Man. Yeah, something similar. You know why? Because it comes from the Romans, man. Just like your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all Roman gods, man. Just like the names of the planets, all Roman, man. Just like Easter, what I mean? Just like Christmas, all Roman, man. You got the speech anyway if you want. If you could, other ones, play me a quick video of someone speaking in tongues. We're gonna play a quick video of someone speaking in tongues, man. Just so anyone in the class, say to the speaker as well. I think if most of our question can't. So, let's play a video of someone speaking in tongues, just so the viewers know. Some of you might not. Some of you probably come from a different background and ain't seen this nonsense, and it sure is nonsense. Like, yeah. When you see, you gotta be thinking, why would anyone believe in that, man? But sadly, people actually believe in this, man. Shame.
One minute.
Yeah, anyone, man, anyone.
Let me get the point. I guarantee.
Through my online store alone, we sold over 5.
Ridiculous, man. But, you know what I mean? The pastor's supposed to speak knowledge, man. We're to teach people what they're supposed to do in their life, how to change your life, fix your life, come off drugs, man. Instead, this is what they're speaking, man. While black men are on drugs, while black men are dying, while black men are killing each other, man. This is what we're doing as a nation of people. Teaching God's love. God's love people come to the church, man, to learn about God and change their life. And this is what our pastors got for them. Put the mic to speak.
Forget what to say. You want to feature some like on this? Forget what to say. Forget what a feature sounds like, and they forget what to say. Hmm. Oh. That's strange.
It's like him outside, cutting us 1 minute. Malfa, how far did we get to? Did you see the video?
No.
No, all right, we'll play it right now. So it's a woman speaking in tongues, man. Clearly making the whole shit up.
Is that the one the school I used to practice in London?
Come again?
They used to have a school in London you practice to speak in tongues. Is that one of the clips?
Nah, this some American woman just praising God, I guess, and speaking in all types of tongues. But I didn't know that there's a school in London where you can practice speaking tongues.
Yes, there's an African preacher used to do there teaching people, charging people and teaching how to speak in tongues.
See it there? It's a hustle, man. It's all a hustle, man. It's all a hustle, all a game. You get me? And the church is another hustle as well, man. You could have the ones run that for me. Charge you to speak tongues, man. Listen, if you're gonna charge man to speak a language, charge me to speak a language, man. I'm gonna learn to speak Mandarin. I want to, have a certificate to speak Mandarin, man. I don't want to speak gibberish. So think about that, black man, when you go pay your money and learn a language that don't exist, man. It's a hustle and a half. That's a hustle, man. Run that, please, Baba Kushar.
Let every false altar that is erected, let it come down. Let it be burned by the fire of God right now in the name of Jesus. Let every ha ha ho ho da ha ay.
Done what? This thing is freezing. That. Stop.
Luck, yeah, they keep cutting it. We'll give it a blind. You seen it this time, Mausa?
Yeah, I've seen the part where she tried to do the music part. It's a lot hard, like she tried to whole notes.
Okay, cool. That's fine. We see it. So we move forward then. And let me tell you something. These are just magicians, man. They know how to manipulate the mind and get you money. Just like any salesman, like Coca-Cola's job is to hustle you to buy Coke and no other drink, man. That's why they show you the can of Coke spinning around, looking all nice and delicious with the the condensation dripping off the can. To me, you go, yo, this is refreshing, man. And they put that when it cracks, and they show a slow motion clip of the Coke pouring into a glass with ice in there. You go, damn, this is nice, man. And likewise with the church, it's all sorcery to get you to come in, to get you to make their numbers big, to make it's a business like any other business. To me, I want to be there, man. Look at all these people there banging the tambourine. The music's good. They are speaking in different tongues, man. It's all a hustle, man. If you could, Bible, I'll give me Exodus 7.
Exodus 7.
7 and about 10.
Exodus 7 verse 10. Slightly just the book of Exodus 7 verse 10. And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Lord had commanded. And
the
Aaron,
Moses, so this is the Exodus. Moses and his brother went Pharaoh, man. Pharaoh today will be the white man. So luck, yeah. You know what I mean? At one time, black people was in slavery under the Egyptians. And today, in 2022, we're in slavery under Boris Johnson, man. And guess what? Pharaoh did not want to let black people go, just like Boris does not want to let black people go. Why would Pharaoh let black people go? Why would Boris Johnson and Joe Biden let black people go, man? Without black people, guess what? Prison will be empty, man. Who's gonna make England some money? How are police gonna get paid, man? How are prison wardens gonna get paid, man? Police need to get paid. Police need someone to sell drugs that they can lock up. Prisoners go to jail and work for Primark and Topshop, man, for £15 a week. £15. Listen, you think you're getting robbed on minimum wage? Prisoners are on some minimum wage, £15. Listen, these are criminals. And without black people, they can't have that, man. They need black people in slavery, man. But black people are the biggest consumers. We don't own anything, but we're the biggest consumers. Why would they want to let black people go? That would be stupid, man. That would be ridiculous. And likewise, Boris don't want to let black people go. Back then, Pharaoh did not want to let black people go. And God commanded Moses and his brother to go and tell Pharaoh, listen, let blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians go, man. And we watch Christmas movies and think, oh, well, that's easy. So Moses had a hard job, man. That's like you going to 10 Downing Street with a stutter, going past them guards, man, telling the ruler of the whole country, listen, let black people go, man. I want black people out of prisons. I want black people out the AIDS ward, man. I want it for myself. You look in your face and laugh and say, shut up, man. Listen, these black people fuel my whole economy, man. Without black people killing each other, listen, funeral directors won't get paid. Who's going to pay for them? Caskets and coffins won't get paid, man. You need black people on the bottom, man. The fact that black people sell drugs alone employs about 10 different people. Just by you selling drugs, you employ policemen, you employ judges, solicitors. What's some people that sit down and talk with you again? Drug workers, counselors. All these people get paid because you sell drugs, man. The police K9 dog team. All these people get paid because you sell drugs. And guess what? All these people are not going to be unemployed because you want to change your life away. Because you want to come out of Egypt. Nah, damn that. We ain't having that, man. It's lucky we done.
And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent.
And Aaron cast down his rod. The Most High said, listen, he said, don't believe you. Do this miracle, man. And the miracle was to throw your rod down, and that rod would turn to a serpent. I got a rod here. A rod is like today a walking stick. Like a walking stick. Remember back then there was no, well-paved concrete floors and, tarmac and so forth. It's sandy. So to walk without spraining your ankle, you need a stick to assist you. You're walking on sand. It's uneven and bumpy. You put your foot in, it sinks right down to your ankle. You need a walking stick to assist you. Everyone had one. Moses one turned to a serpent, turned to a snake. Keep it in.
Salaki. Verse 11. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers Salaki. Now the magicians of Egypt, they all.
There you go. The magicians of Egypt. Egypt have magicians, man. And what's a magician? A magician does a magic trick, man. A magician is a man that does make something appear like magic, but it ain't really magic. And that's what your pastor is. Your pastor makes sure I was having a bad day, but now I feel great. And it's not really magic, man. You just play with your emotions. You get baptized in the church, you go, you know what? Something happened to me in that water, man. I went in the water, listen, I just felt refreshment. All that is not magic, man. It's a trick. Do you know, listen, if you hit cold water, your body is going to be in shock. Naturally, so remember the ice bucket challenge? And everybody was, couldn't breathe. That's what happens. If I dunk your face in water, you're going to be in shock, man. And you think it's the Holy Ghost. You think it's the Spirit, man. It is not the Spirit, man. You see man talking in tongues, but it's not. All these are just magicians, man, that know to play on your emotions, man. When that pastor gets to banging and dancing, oh my God, I feel good today. I feel so great. I'm feeling great. Don't stop black on black crime. Feeling great. Don't stop cracking our communities, man. Imagine that you're banging and singing and moonwalking all in the church. As soon as the church service is done, you walk outside them doors where shots are being fired, man. Feeling great don't fix black people, man. The UPK, we actually teach the Bible, man. We fix black people, man. We get black people off drugs, man. We get demons off people, man. We help people's depression, man. Seeing that church is just one big concert and it's run by magicians, people that know how to play tricks on you, man. You know how a magician can play a trick? They say, yeah. I'm closing my eyes. What card is that? And they got a way of finding your card. But you know it's a trick. You know it's not real magic. And they show you a card. How do you do that? Listen. They even got a saying. A real magician never gives up his tricks, man. And that's your pastor. All are tricks, man. Just tricks. Play music loud to make you feel good. Woo! I'm going to church next week, man. The Spirit's in my church. I'm gonna baptize a man. Boom! You get baptized, a cold water hits you. You think, yo, man, I feel different. I feel fresh, man. But you don't, man. Baptism don't change nobody, man. If you're a sexual deviant and you get baptized, you just come out a wet sexual deviant, man. If you're a man that smokes cigarettes, you get baptized, you come out a wet cigarette smoker, man. Water don't change nobody. Changing your life is actually getting up and physically changing your life, man. The things you used to do, you don't do no more. And then back in Egypt, they also have magicians, man. Magicians that will play these same games. Read that again.
Okay. Verse 11. Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers, now the magician of Egypt. They all did in like manner with their enchantment.
And they all did in like manner. They're magicians, all these wise men. You know what I mean? They made a serpent turn to a snake as well, man. But how did they do it? It was a trick. It wasn't real, man. Like the Bible said, what Bible said, lying wonders. Let's do lying wonders, man. You think, wow, it's a wonder. It's fake, man. It's all fake, man. The pastor will do sometimes. He'll give you a blessing, and I don't know why they do it, but that's a push in your forehead. And the man, people say, I felt the Spirit. It's the pastor's biceps, man. You got your pastor kind of strong. He just forced your head back. That's what it was, man. Come on, pastor touched the man, and the man jumped out of his wheelchair. That's a lie, man. So you can watch documentaries about lying pastors, man. And let me tell you something. We're going to go to tongues, and tongues is nowhere in the Bible. Speaking in tongues is nowhere in the Bible. Speaking in tongues just means what? Speak in another language, man. Someone give me Genesis real quick. Genesis 6 is it? It's how about Bible. So give me Genesis 10.
Genesis 10 verse.
I think it's 1, you know. Let me see. No. No. Genesis 11 and 1.
Genesis 11 verse 1. The book of Genesis 11 verse 1. And the whole earth was of one language and one speech.
Keep reading. Read that again, Slakia.
Slakia?
Read that again, Baba Kushar.
Slakia. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And
this is before the Lord divided the nations, man. The Lord made nations, one nation to rule over one plot of land, one to rule over the other plot of land. And what happened was nations kept coming together. The Lord is not about nations coming together, man. So the Lord had to divide the nations. At this time, the world was of one speech and one language, meaning we all spoke the same thing. But because we wanted to be together, like today in England, United Kingdoms, you know what I mean? Out of many people, what's the Jamaican slogan? Out of many, one people. You know what I mean? Multicultural. The Lord had to divide our speech, man. So we all can't speak the same thing. The Lord made it impossible for us to be one people. The Lord even broke, at one point, the earth was all land, and the Lord put water in between countries, man, to divide it, man. But as, you know, the oppressor being the devil and all, he's cracked that code, man. You know what I mean? He got Google Translate now, and boats and ships, and he's done it again, man. He's done it again, but this is not what the Lord intended to happen. That word there, the Bible goes, the whole earth have one speech. But let you know that speech means language, man. Give me the book of Acts. Acts 26. Yeah, 26 and 14.
26. 14.
Where's your scoffers?
The book of Acts 26 verse 14. And
Yeah,
when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking into me, saying in the Hebrew tongue, Saul,
in the what
Saul,
tongue?
in the
In the what
Hebrew
tongue?
tongue.
There you go, in the Hebrew tongue. In the Hebrew tongue, in the Hebrew language, man. A tongue is a language. A tongue is not some hashkala bashkala, man. It is a language. If you speak French, you speak in the French tongue, man. Speak in tongues according to the Bible. That man speak in another language. I'm gonna prove it in the Bible, man. Someone give me a Romans 14. Romans 14. This is the scripture that they like to use, man. 1 Corinthians 14, Salakia. This is the scripture that Christians use to say, yeah, well, we speak in tongues, man. Speak in tongues, talk about speaking in a whole different language. Salakia?
Salakia, which book is that?
1 Corinthians 14 chapter.
1 Corinthians 14. 1 Corinthians 14. 14. Verse.
Verse 1. So we just established that a tongue is another language, man.
Okay.
Paul said they heard Christ speaking to him in the Hebrew tongue, man, in the Hebrew language, man. So anyway, we done 1 Corinthians 14:1. This is a famous Christian chapter they like to go to, and they don't understand
1
it, man. It's lucky,
Corinthians
sorry.
14, verse 1. Follow after the charity and their spiritual gifts, but rather that he may prophesy.
So Paul says, follow after charity. Charity is brotherly love. Charity is not given to the poor. Today, charity is given to the poor. According to the Bible, charity is loving your brother, man. So Paul says, follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy. So there's no greater gift that you can have but to prophesy, but to teach, but to go out on the streets, go on the internet, go on the job, do whatever you got to do and teach brothers about this truth. I don't care if you speak 4 languages, 5 languages. I don't care if you can break dance, this, that, build cars. There's no greater gift, according to the Bible, than to do what I'm doing right now. Keep it in.
For he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speak not unto men. Okay?
Keep it in. Yeah,
Okay.
read that again, verse 2.
For he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not unto men, but unto God.
There you go, man. So they read that and go, see that there? I'm speaking to God. I don't speak to man. I speak in an unknown tongue. Nobody understands this tongue, but I ain't speaking to man. I speak to God, man. Hashkalabash. No one understands what I'm saying because I ain't speaking to man. I'm speaking to the Most High. You get me? I'm learning this tongue. Listen, this scripture is not saying that at all, man. Not at all, man. The scripture, when you read the whole scripture, there was men that spoke many languages, and Paul's been saying, listen, you might have gifts. Someone got gifts to build cars, and someone got gifts to learn languages very quickly. Someone are bilingual, and Paul's saying, listen, the best gift to have is to prophesy. You may speak many languages. I think in this time the language we're talking about was about Latin and Hebrew. Some men spoke Latin and Hebrew, could speak to the Romans and speak to the Jews, man. He's saying, even though you got that, that's nothing. But to prophesy is better than knowing many languages. We're gonna prove it. Keep it in.
Verse 3. But he that prophesied speak unto men to edify and to exhortation and comfort.
But if you speak in an unknown tongue, you don't speak to men. Why? Because men don't understand you. You're speaking a language that's unknown to me. What benefit does that do to me? But if you prophesy like what I'm doing now, you speak of to man. To edification. Edification means to make somebody understand. Like what I'm doing right now, we break the words down, get the definitions, show you examples, go on YouTube, show you videos. That is greater than speaking in tongues. You speak in an unknown language. What good is that? You ain't speaking to man. Why are you not speaking to man? Because man don't understand it. But to do what we're doing is greater than to be bilingual. Keep reading.
Verse 4. He that speaketh in an unknown tongue edified himself, but he that
Verse 2 in the middle.
edified the church. Verse 5. I would that ye all speak.
No, was it verse 2 in the middle?
You want to read verse 2 again?
It's like, it's 1 second, Mouse, are you cracking up? You could read it from the other one. 1 minute. We'll give you time for you to catch up. Just breaking up a little bit. We're going to read it in the class for a minute. Give me a second.
Verse 2.
Yeah, Kyle.
For he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not unto men, but unto God.
There you go. And Paul, what did Paul say in the open line? Rather that you prophesy. But any man speaking an unknown tongue, he's not prophesying, man. He don't speak to men. He ain't prophesying to men. He ain't teaching men. Keep it in.
For no man understandeth him.
For no man understandeth him. So what good is that? When you edification means to make someone understand. You make somebody understand the Bible, break down John 3:16, break down what I'm doing right now. That is better, man. That is edification, which Paul said you should rather do, because you edify people, make people understand. But if you're saying hashkala bashkala like the pastor, what good is that? Nobody don't understand him. Keep it in.
Suck it if can as well. And that's heavy because many people in the church go, you know, I don't speak unto man, I speak unto God. But there's a colon, meaning it's answering it. For no man understandeth you, meaning you speak to God, not saying you literally speak to God. You speak to God because no man understands you.
No, to get there.
No,
It's like I'm about to get there, but because
Okay,
I don't want to bring it out, I'll bring it now. He goes, "He that speaketh in unknown tongue don't speak to man, but speaks to God." You know, and what they miss is the colon. He's not saying you speak to God. It's like when people go, "Yo, what's he doing?" Yo, God knows. I don't know. Like, or yo, only God can tell. Like he's speaking gibberish. He's speaking Latin. No one in here speaks Latin. Only God understands him. I don't know what he's talking about. The Bible actually, this chapter is actually going against speaking in an unknown language. It's actually going against it. But I was gonna get there, but no sweat.
Howbeit in the spirit he speaketh mysteries.
So this man speaking mysteries. Mystery is something hard to be understood. Those men back there in the churches boasting about, I'm bilingual, I'm this and that. Paul said, what good is that, man? Fair enough, you got certificates and you can speak very different languages, but what good is that, man? I'd rather you get the brothers off drugs, man. I'd rather you get the brothers off weed, man. Keep it in.
But he that prophesieth speaketh unto men.
But if you prophesy, you do what I do right now, you are speaking unto men, man. Changing men's lives, man. Fixing men's lives, fixing men's marriages, man. Keep it in.
To edification.
There goes that word again, edification. Edification means to be edified, to be taught, man. Something that's dark, bring it to light, man. To make someone understand. Keep it in.
And exhortation.
Keep it in.
And comfort.
And to comfort, man. Your brothers out there discomforted, not showing what to God to serve, what God wants from them. And they come to the UPK, but we comfort them, brothers, man. Tell them how to live their life, man. Tell them, listen, you're on drugs your whole life. Listen, you can come off drugs. And you can get the kingdom, man. That comfort somebody, man. Keep it in.
He that speaketh in an unknown tongue edifieth himself.
And he that speaks in an unknown language edifies himself. Why? Because only he understands it, man. You speak Spanish, talk about this. Espanol, speaking it fluently, trying to boast. Everyone's like, well, that's good, but you only edify yourself. I don't understand it. What good is that to me? I don't understand Spanish, man. That's good to you. Keep it in.
But he that prophesieth edifieth the church.
And this is what the Bible is saying. How are you gonna pull the scripture to back speaking in tongues? But it's against speaking in tongues, man. He's saying he that edifies the whole church, man. Church meaning school. Today, church got some gay connotation, but the church is a gathering of Israelites, man. Anyone that prophesies, you edify everyone in this classroom, everyone online. That is better than saying Hashkala Bashkala, man. So why is everyone lying? You're speaking tongues and speaking over, man. When Paul's here saying that prophesy is better than that, man. To speak in a language that everybody understands and prophesy, and then they go, okay, that is better than saying Hashkala Bashkala, man. That shows that why your pastors just don't know the Bible, man. The imams, the granny, all the people that claim to be Bible scholars just don't know the Bible, man. It's a luck, yeah.
I would that ye all spake with tongues.
And Paul said, listen, I wish you all bilingual. I wish you all could speak in this language and Latin and Greek and Korean Greek and Hebrew. I wish everyone could speak in different languages, man. Keep it in.
But rather that ye prophesied.
But I'd rather you prophesy. It's good to be bilingual and have a certificate, learn a lot of things. It's good, listen, it's good to go to college. It's good to be a scientist. It's good to be in the kingdom. We're going to need opticians. We're going to need scientists. We're going to need hearts. It is good. All the things are great, but guess what? They're not greater than being a prophet. Serving God is greater than all them things, man. It is good to be a prophet, a doctor, a lawyer. Them things are good, man. Those are good skills that you can learn that can change your life, give you more money. But I'd rather you be in the ISUPK, so lucky. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Keep it in.
For greater is he that prophesieth than he that speaketh with tongues.
Listen, it's a process, man. It's greater to prophesy than know 10 different languages, man. So why are you talking about Hashkala? Why is everybody trying to go to speaking in tongues school, man? I mean, it's a greater thing just to join the UPK, work your way up the ranks, be an officer, man, and teach my brothers, man. It's greater to be reading at camp, man. It's greater to be a trooper reading, helping pick up boxes, man, and van packing. It's greater to do that than be speaking in some unknown tongue, man. Keep it in.
Except he interpret, that the church may receive edifying,
Read that again.
except he interprets, that the church may receive edifying.
Right. Now, how do we know that this language, this tongue, is not some heavenly tongue that no one can understand, but a tongue spoken of in the earth? Does anyone know? No, sir. We're gonna get back to it. Keep it in. He said it again in verse 13. No problem. Keep it in.
Sweat. Now, brethren, if I come unto you speaking with tongues, what shall I profit you?
Suppose if I came to you, swinging my balls, showing off, speaking in France, then I switch from that to Spanish, hola, that switch again, you know what I mean? German, guten Tag, and just showing my skills and everything. What benefit is that, man? They're gonna look at me like, wow, he's bilingual, you got skills, man. But how is that gonna benefit you? You want to know what to do next time you get an urge to pick up a cigarette, man. And me showing up speaking in 3 different languages, what's that going to do to you, man? How is that going to benefit you? You want to know how to fix your marriage, or you got some bad kids, and I'm there flexing, showing all these different languages. How is that? What does that do for you? It's nice to me. It shows the world how good I am, how fluent I am, how accurate I am. And I'm learning in this school. I went to Oxford. But what does that benefit you, man? Also, what would that benefit you? Keep it in.
Except I shall speak to you either by revelation, or by knowledge, or by prophesying, or by doctrine.
Of course, I'm going to speak to you by revelation, what the Lord's revealed to me. What else? Or by knowledge, the things that I've known, experienced, been through before. That's how you teach people, man. Not by going in the church saying, Hashkila Bacha. What kind of crap is that, man? How is that going to change anyone's life? A pastor, a man of God is meant to go out there and teach people by revelation, man, meaning what the Bible says, man, what God's revealed to a man. By knowledge, meaning the things that hits in. Some stuff, like drug dealing, you see it, man, they go, listen, Tyson, stay away from that, man. It only ends up 2 ways in jail or dead. That's knowledge, stuff you see around you. What else? Or prophesying by teaching. These things help somebody, change someone's life, man. Not speaking in tongues, man. That woman that was in front of the church, she shouldn't be speaking like that. She should be telling black people what to do, man. What to do, how to love, what to do, what not to do, how to dress, how not to dress, what to eat, from what not to eat. Black men are number 1 in diabetes. Why? Because someone ain't telling them what to eat, man. Someone's speaking in tongues while they should be teaching black people what to eat. That's why we're number 1 in high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes. Black men are number 1 in the graveyard because someone's supposed to be teaching us how to live our life and how to love our brother, but they're not, man. They're banging the tambourine and they're speaking in tongues, man. Black people are number 1 in single parent homes because instead of someone teaching a black woman how to conduct herself, telling a black man how to conduct himself, telling a black woman stop being a horse, stop put on them clothes, and tell a black man to raise his family, they're not, man. They're in the pulpit speaking in tongues, man, and banging a tambourine, and that's why black people are effed up, man. Because no one's prophesying, no one's speaking to them in revelation or in knowledge, man. They're too busy putting on a show and banging a tambourine, and that's the reason why we're on the bottom. Keep me in
I got an answer from Tzapon. If you want to hear that.
Yeah, go on.
So Officer Tzapon says, except he edifies the people of what he is saying, then it's pointless.
Which is true. Not that answers the question, but I'm not sure that was a comment.
Okay, no.
Answer the question. Which is true. Unless you're edifying the people, what you're saying, then what's the point, man? I could read this Bible and that's it. I'm not gonna stop, break down, give you the definitions and so forth, man. With the caption said edification. I stop to let you know what edification means. I could read over it, but no, man, that ain't helping. That's not prophesying, man. I need the people to understand. And you speaking in some unknown tongue, that's not making nobody understand, man. Keep it in.
And even things without life giving sound, whether pipe or harp, except they give a distinction in the sound.
It said, and Paul goes deeper. It goes, even things that don't have life, even things that are dead, man, even they give a sound. Why? So you can understand it. You're gonna go further. You talk to somebody, you need to speak to them that they understand, so that they change their life. You speak in an unknown tongue. What good is that? even things that don't have no life. Like the smoke alarm? The smoke alarm got a certain sound, so you go, shit, the fire, I gotta get out of here. The ice cream van got a certain sound, so you go, oh shit, the ice cream van's coming. Even things with no life, even when you hear them, it's so you understand what's going on. And what good is it if you're speaking to a man and he does not understand what is going on? Keep it in.
How shall it be known what is piped or harps?
There you go. And if something is giving an unknown sound, how will you know if it's being played or not? Pipes meaning something you're blowing too hot, it's a string that you pull. How will you know what's being played if it's not giving the correct sound? If you're speaking to a man in Spanish and he speaks English, you are not giving him the correct sound. Keep it in.
For if the trumpets give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle?
There you go, man. And this is what the Bible calls a trumpet. A trumpet today is a brass instrument, made out of silver and whatnot, and they blow it. But this is a trumpet that you blow. A watchman will stay on a high tower. That was his job. And look out with binoculars, and they'll take it in shifts. And when you see horses and shit coming towards, you blow that trumpet, man. And all the soldiers would jump up with their swords, ready. Trumpet was blown. But imagine you blow this trumpet, and the next sound come out of it, man. Imagine you blew this trumpet, and the ice cream van sound came out of it, man. Then guess what? You wouldn't get ready for battle, man. You wouldn't get ready for battle. Why? Because you didn't hear that alarm. Imagine if you were in your bed right now, and the smoke alarm went off. But the sound that came out of the smoke alarm was the ice cream, man. And guess what? You're gonna be preparing for your change to get ice cream and not climbing down the fire escape like you should be. And that's what Paul's saying. You're teaching a man in Spanish and he speaks English. What good is that, man? What good is a fire alarm that don't make a fire alarm sound? What good is a trumpet that don't make a trumpet sound? Without that sound, the warriors wouldn't get ready. Without the fire alarm sound, you're gonna be dead, man. You're not gonna make your way to the fire escape. What good is it, man? And that's the same as speaking in tongues. What good is speaking in tongues if nobody really understands it? It's purposeless. You want to walk around like you're holy.
This thing freezing. Link up, break up, bad.
No, sir. You right? Went back to exile. No, sir. All right, carry on if you could.
All right. So likewise, ye, except ye utter by the tongue words easy to be understood.
And Paul said, the same way how dead instruments make a sound so you understand it, I want you to do it likewise, man. Utter words easily to be understood, man. Now you go to the church, oh God, this is church. No one got a good vocabulary like the church goes, man. They got the biggest vocabulary, man. That's why roadmen can't relate to them. Roadmen like, I can't go to church, man. They come with a, oh God, and dearly and clearly and sanctify and purify. And Paul goes, nah, man. Speak words easy to be understood, man. That's why the UPK, we keep it real, man. We keep it nice and basic so people can understand it, man. We know a lot of our people are unlearned, and a lot of our people didn't really, go to school and whatnot because they're oppressed as the devil. And how can you really go to school when you're raising your siblings and your mom, and as soon as you hit 16, you got to go get a job to help them ends meet. You ain't got an education like most people have. Well, your church don't care about that. They're too busy showing off and speaking in different languages and speaking, and Lord and purified. Listen to a church, listen to your pastor's prayer, listen to the words in there. It's massive, man. And Paul goes, nah, man, there's utter words that's easy to be understood, man. Stop smoking weed. See there, easy, man. Your pastor, what's that word you use again for weed? Inebriated. Stop getting inebriated. That's garbage, man. Stop smoking weed, man. Simple as that, man. A black woman hate us. Oh, you are rude. Because you know why? We say stop being hoes. And then words are sharp, man. No one has to hear that shit. Stop being a hoe. Like, ooh. Well, this is what we say words is easy to be understood, man. So like, yeah. We're not gonna say stop being promiscuous. What's that word? Stop being all that stuff there is easy, man. Well, I'll keep it in.
Waste man number 3. All right. Anyway, how shall it be known what is spoken?
For ye shall speak into the air.
You're speaking to the air, man. That's it, you know. When Paul said it twice. First, Paul said what? Any man speaking in an unknown tongue is speaking to what? Speaking to God. Then later on, it goes what? Any man speaking in an unknown tongue is speaking to the what? To the air, man. Meaning, when he goes speaking to God, it don't mean God listens to you. It means that God knows what he's saying. He's speaking to man. He said the same thing twice, but words are different. Now we go, he's speaking to the air, meaning he's speaking to nobody. Nobody understands. Waste your time. Keep reading.
There are, it may be, so many kind of voices in the world, and none of them is without signification.
Keep reading.
Therefore, if I know not the meaning of the voice, I shall be unto him that speaketh a barbarian.
And Paul goes, if I'm speaking to a man, I don't understand what language he speaks to. I'm a barbarian to him. He's like, huh? What's that about? Don't mean nothing to me. I think, what's a barbarian back then? A barbarian was a man that
It was a bearded man.
a bearded man, a man that was like, you know, grew out there in the bushes or whatnot, man. You know, a man that wasn't kept, you know, prim and proper. A man that had like a caveman kind of. Also, I'm like a barbarian to a man if I speak in any language. I gotta speak in the language that he understands. Keep it in.
And he that speaketh shall be a barbarian unto me. Even so ye, for as much as ye are zealous of spiritual gifts.
Unfortunately, I get you lot, man. You brothers are zealous. Zealous means like enthusiastic or, you know, what's the word for zealous? Fanatic.
Passionate.
Passionate, so that's the word. Passionate about spiritual gifts. The brothers that are passionate for gifts, man. You know what I mean? The brothers that want to, you know, speak different languages. The brothers that want to travel and go to different, you know, parts of the globe and bring brothers in and so forth. But Paul said, listen, I know you're passionate for different gifts, you know. The brothers, to this day, in the UPK, they got loads of different gifts, man. The brother that makes some banging flyers, man. The brother that's good in the video department and made the Passover promo commercial. Brothers out there that are good in the StreamYard, and there's loads of brothers that got different talents to bring brothers in, man. Of course, I know that. I know everyone's, you know, desiring and passionate for different gifts and so forth. Brothers that can make garments, brothers that make chains, sisters that make soaps and chains and all types of stuff, man. Keep it in.
Seek that ye may excel to the edifying of the church.
Of course, I know there's loads of gifts out there, man. Nobody wants to be giftless. Everybody wants gifts. I know you're zealous for excelling in loads of gifts. You want to be in the video department. You want to be in the clothes making department. But listen, just seek that you edify people first, man. Be a prophet first, and make people understand the Bible first. You know what I mean? If you want to be the best clothes maker there is, how about you be the best teacher first, man? Then after that, you can go setting up. Make sure you excel in edifying the church first, man. In edifying brothers and sisters. That's what Paul's saying here. Do that. Then after that, you know, you can do chains and whatever the case may be. We know you got talents out there. Brothers out there in the UPK that rap, man, make good music, man. But guess what? On Thursday, you see him in his shares. Listen, man. On Thursday, you see him teaching and so forth, man. Captain Carter's got a banging album, man. And where do you see Captain Carter every Thursday, man? Teaching. Cross the line, teaching. Doing his classes, man. You know what? He's a prophet first, man. Then he has other gifts also. Keep it in.
Wherefore, let him that speaketh in an unknown tongue pray that he may interpret.
Stop. So how do we know that this tongue, this unknown tongue, is a tongue that's in the earth, but unknown to a man? Because, for instance, Christians say that an unknown tongue is a tongue that nobody understands. The Bible calls it an unknown tongue. Why? Because I don't understand it. If I don't understand it, I know it in the room understands it. It's an unknown tongue. It's not unknown because no one speaks in the earth. It's an unknown tongue because no one in the room understands it. So therefore, it's unknown to us. I don't know where it's from. And how do we know that it's an unknown tongue that's spoken of in the earth? Does anyone know?
Because he will need an interpreter.
There you go.
Give a hand.
There you go. So this language can be interpreted, man. So, but I'm saying, yo, you know me, hola, you know, oh, bonjour, je m'appelle Karafia. Enough men go, what he just said was, hello, his name's Karafia. Meaning what? Someone else speaks it, man. It's a language spoken of in the earth. Or it couldn't be interpreted. He goes, let him speak and then let him interpret it also, man. That's how it's a language that's spoken of in the earth. Else, it couldn't be interpreted. Read that again.
Yeah. Read that one more time.
Wherefore let him that speaketh in an unknown tongue pray that he may be interpreted.
There you go. And what it says needs to be interpreted, man. If you read down in the chapter, Paul was strict on this. He said, everything that a man says in an unknown tongue must be interpreted, man. But you can't say something to everybody, oh, okay, needs to be interpreted. Why? Because this is a language spoken of in the earth already, man. It's not no unknown, hashkala, bashkala, angel language, man. Keep reading.
14. For if I pray in an unknown tongue, my spirit prayeth, but my understanding is unfruitful.
You go, if I pray in an unknown tongue, it's unfruitful. No, nobody understands it, man. He says, my understanding is unfruitful. You know what I mean? He's using the analogy as a fruit, like, you know, if an apple tree grows apples, that tree is fruitful. If an apple tree don't grow apples, it's unfruitful. So if I'm teaching in an unknown tongue, I'm breaking it down in Spanish. No one in the room speaks Spanish. No one goes home. No one changes their lives. No one comes off drugs. Nobody understands it. All that's fruitful. Nothing happened. No fruit was grown from what I just did. Why? Because I spoke in a language that nobody understood in the first place. Keep it in.
Verse 15. What is it then? I will pray with the spirit, and I will pray with the understanding also. I will sing with the spirit, and I will sing with the understanding also.
Keep it in. We're getting to that. Keep it in.
16. Else when thou shalt bless with the spirit, how shall he that occupied the room of the unlearned say amen?
There you go. So Paul saying, you know, when you're teaching, how can a man that's unlearned say amen? How can a man that, you know, unlearned say, you know, that's true, you know? Or, you know, so be it. How can you break it down? How can a man go, you know, you're right, you know? You don't understand? Say, what good is it saying, you know, and the Lord spoke to me and hush, blah, blah, blah. What good is that? How can a man go, you know, you're right, you know? What he showed me was deep. I'm going to chill like tomorrow. I'm going to read that tomorrow, put the scripts out tomorrow. How can a man do that? How can a man say, you know what, that's right? I can't argue with that. How is it possible, man? And Muslims do that also, man. Salakia. Muslims that like to run one tape. You hear that? They run one tape, one prayer tape, just run the prayer in Arabic on the mic. And the tape sounds like it's like, just running. And people walk past them, wow, they're deep brothers, man. When they speak that Arabic, man. I wish one day I could speak the Arabic. Listen, that edifies nobody.
That's right.
That is nothing. Catholics do it too. And on channel 4 on Sunday, they do some Catholic thing, and they're singing in what language is it? In Latin. It's just a language, and they're singing hymns for hours, man. They don't have it no more, do they?
No, that's not.
But when England was a proper Christian country, they used to play it. I remember it. And who understands what they're saying? And that's the garbage the Bible's talking about, man. The Bible said we shouldn't do, man. Keep it in.
Shalaki. At thy giving of thanks, seeing ye understand it not what thou sayest.
That's right. All right, give me verse 18.
Verse 10. I thank my God, I speak with tongues more than ye all.
So Paul said, listen, everyone's boasting and thinking they're better than each other because they're speaking different languages. Paul goes, listen, I speak more language than you all, man. You read about Paul. Paul was a man that went to a good school, man. He was a Pharisee, man. One time Paul was speaking to a Roman soldier, and was it Book of Acts? And the Roman soldier jumped back like, yo, you speak Greek. He saw Greek coming out of his black man's face, and like, oh shit, like I don't speak Greek. But many languages, man. I mean, even in the Book of Acts, spoke many. In fact, let me get there real quick, man. You go down speakers Greek. This Roman soldier saw. Imagine you see a Chinese man. I mean, he looks like he's fresh off the boat, and he starts speaking. Hello there. You think, yo, he jumped back. This happened to Paul. This happened to Paul, man. This man saw Paul with, the black self and thought, oh, this man is not speaking Hebrew. So it's Paul like, yo, you speak Greek. Paul spoke in many different languages, man. Let me get that. Give me Acts 21:37.
Acts 21:37.
The hold this copy, I swear it's shit.
Acts 21, verse 37. As Paul was to be led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, May I speak unto thee? Who
So,
said,
so one second. Read that again, nice and slow, Uncle Shah.
oh, Acts 21, 37. And as Paul was to be led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, May I speak unto thee?
So stop there, stop there. So Paul's in jail right now for teaching the truth, and he's being led into the castle. So imagine Paul being led into the castle. So that imagine, you know, when you go jail and they take you off the bus and you go jail and you're all chained together and in a line. So Paul's being led into the castle, just like how today you've been led off the bus into the prison. So he's in a line, and as he's walking, he sees the chief priest, the chief captain, sorry. So imagine Paul's walking and he sees the guard in charge. There's many guards, but he's the main guard in charge. And he said to him, Can I speak to you? So imagine you walk in the line and you're like, yo, officer, I beg you a quick talk, man. I need to tell you something real quickly. Trying to get his attention. Keep it in.
Who said, Canst thou speak Greek?
And that captain, remember Paul trying to get attention. Yo, captain, I'm about to speak to you quickly, man. The man goes, Whoa, you can speak Greek. That's what Paul meant in Romans when he said, What? I speak tongues more than you all. Meaning what? I speak in many languages. This man he saw a black man. He goes, Yo, you can speak Greek. This is a Roman or a white man. And again, white people have black people in prison, man. See them all the time. So look at these niggas, man. But this one here, he was shocked like, you can speak like I like black people all the time. I've been a prison warden for 25 years. I've been locking you up, telling you lights out, bang up time. But yo, you speak Greek. That's different, man. The man goes, Thou can speak Greek. That's what Paul meant. That's what Paul meant when he said, What? I speak tongues more than you all, man. Paul spoke Hebrew and he spoke Greek, man. They keep reading.
Verse 38. Art not thou an Egyptian?
And Paul was so dark skinned, he thought Paul was an Egyptian. He goes, You speak Greek, ain't you an Egyptian? Meaning what? Paul's skin was dark, man. Paul's a black man. Imagine, it's like you said Chinese man. You see me, he goes, you might just say, Yo, you speak English. Ain't you not that North Korean guy? He's not North Korean, but he looks like one. And That's what the man said about Paul, man. He thought Paul was an Egyptian. Because Paul spoke many different languages fluently to the point that a white man had to jump like, oh, you speak Greek. That's what Paul meant. Paul meant by I speak tongues more than you will. I speak many languages, man. Drop that. Go back to 1 Corinthians 14 and 18.
First Corinthians 14, 18. 2 seconds.
No problem.
I thank my God, I speak with tongues more than ye all.
And now we know what Paul was talking about. Paul spoke Hebrew. Paul spoke Greek also. He spoke more tongues. As Paul was well learned, man. Paul also had citizenship in many different places. Paul read the book of Romans, Galatia, Ephesians, Colossae. He spoke many tongues in many different lands, doing the work of the Lord. Keep it in.
Verse 19. Yet in the church I had rather speak 5 words with my understanding, that by my voice I might teach others also.
So listen, I speak more language than all you lot, man. And I'd rather speak 5 languages. I'd rather speak 5 words in a language that everyone can understand than me speaking fluent Spanish, and French, and Creole, and this and that. I'd rather speak 5 basic words, man. Do not smoke weed. I'd rather say that. Do not smoke weed. Than, bonjour, je m'appelle, all them fluent, nice words, man. All that means nothing. Keep it in.
I might teach others also than 10,000 words in an unknown tongue.
There you go. Keep it in.
Brethren, be not children in understanding, or be it in malice. Be he children, but in understanding be men.
Stop there. So what's the part? Read that again. There's something happening why Paul is saying, I'd rather you edify than speak in tongues. And verse 20 just said it. Read that again.
Verse 20. Brethren, be not children in understanding, or be it in malice. Be he children, but in understanding be men.
So what's happening here, Mausa? Why is Paul saying, I'd rather you speak in 5 words that people understand than 1,000 words in French, which no one in this room speaks French. Why is Paul saying that? Verse 20 said why.
Because Paul is saying, in the language, in the unknown language that you're going to speak, nobody won't be edified. So you'll be like children without understanding.
I get that, but why is Paul addressing it? Why is Paul saying it to the church of Corinthians? Why?
I think because most of them are speaking about in understanding.
It's in verse 20. It's right there, verse 20. The reason why Paul had to say it.
Or be it in malice, be he children.
Come
So
on.
how be it in this? What do you say? In this confusion,
Malice. What's malice?
malice is to have a grievance against somebody.
So what was happening in Corinthians that Paul had to write this whole chapter?
So because there's a disagreement between the brothers in the church.
There you go, man. Brothers was arguing, and well, I speak Spanish, I speak French. Listen, I should be over you because listen, you don't speak Spanish, and if you do, it ain't fluent in the mind. Brothers are arguing and keeping malice about this issue here. So Paul saying, "Who gives a damn who speaks what language? Man, I speak more than any of you, that man. What good is it if a man don't understand it? What good is it? If a trumpet don't make a trumpet sound, then no one gets ready for battle, man. That was the issue. That's what it's speaking about from top to bottom, whole chapter. That's what Paul is talking about. Because brothers are arguing about who's over you. I'm over you, man. You don't speak French, and yours ain't fluent like mine. I got my certificate from Oxford. Yours is from Cambridge. Everyone knows Oxford is a better university than Cambridge. Have you seen their rates on their pass rate? Just arguing about nonsense, man. And Paul said, I'd rather get black people on drugs. Is that too much? I'd rather you stop black women from being whores, man. Is that too much? That was the issue, man. Read that again, verse 20.
Verse 20. Brethren, be not children in understanding, or be it in malice, be he children, but in understanding be men.
So Paul breaks down by speaking tongues. He goes, brothers, man, how be in malice? Like how be in argument? This arguments, you coming like children, man. Arguing about who speaks this and who speaks that. All that is nonsense, man. Keep it in.
Verse 20. In the law it is written, with men of other tongues and other lips will I speak unto this people. And
there you
yet
go.
All that I.
So Paul said, in the law, in the Old Testament, I think it's Malachi, Isaiah, it's prophesied that the Lord going to speak to us in another tongue. Meaning what? What does that mean? The Lord going to speak to us in another tongue. Malachi was written when all of us spoke Hebrew, and the Lord prophesied that we're going to learn this word in English, in Spanish, in French. So Paul said, are all arguing about who speaks languages. In the Bible, it's written we're going to learn it in different languages anyway. You know what I mean? Officer Kazakian in California does classes in Spanish. Officer Aban does the Brazil class in Portuguese. You're arguing about who speaks this when it's prophesied in the Bible. We're going to be in captivity, we're going to be in slavery, and we're going to learn a whole different language anyway. That's what Paul's saying. Read that part again.
In the law it is written, with men of other tongues and other lips I will speak unto these people.
Okay, Isaiah 28. Hold that. Hold that. That's what, okay. So Paul goes, in the Bible, it's written, it's prophesied that we're going to speak another language. This is what Paul was reading from. Paul didn't make nothing of himself. Paul read what we read.
Yeah, Isaiah 28.
Can you read that?
Again, for you. All right.
Isaiah 28:9. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the breast and drawn from the mouth. For precept must be upon a precept, precepts upon a precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Verse 11. For with stammering lips and another tongue.
There you go. Stammering lip and a new tongue, a new language. We done.
Will he speak to this people?
I mean, in a new tongue, that's where the Lord is going to speak to us, man. And in this class in particular, the Lord speaking to us in English. In Kazak's class, the Lord speaking in Spanish. The Lord in a new tongue, I will speak to his people. That's what Paul read. Paul will do what I do. I go in the Bible, bring out chapters and verses to prove my point. And Paul did the exact same thing, man. The men of the UPK are the men of old, man. We are the men. Paul went in the Old Testament and said, listen, well, it says in the scripture here Boom, boom, boom. What am I doing right now? We go in Genesis. We go to Isaiah, we go to Ezekiel, and prove our point, man. We don't bang tambourines. We don't shuffle and dance. We go in the Bible, man. So Paul basically saying, anyway, you're arguing about speaking languages when God says you're all going to speak any language anyway, man. You know, brothers are going to be in Jamaica speaking English. Why? Because the English colonized us. People in Martinique and Guadeloupe and Haiti, they're going to be the Bible in French, man. Why? Because the French got them. Listen, we got Trooper Ira, man, from Amsterdam that speaks Dutch, man. And he got a Dutch Bible. Why? Because the Dutch conquered, man. Conquered, you know, parts of Carousel, man. That's why the Lord got to speak to us in another language. So don't worry about what language you got to speak, man, or how much you speak. You don't worry about it, man. You know what I mean? Everyone's gonna have Bibles pretty different anyway. Keep reading. Verse 22.
Verse 22. Wherefore, tongues are for a sign, not to them that believe, but to them that believe not.
Keep reading.
But prophesying serveth not for them that believe not.
There you go.
But
so the Bible goes, speak in another language for people that don't believe. You know, we're gonna get that in Acts. In Acts, a miracle that happened in Acts, man. The brothers started speaking in tongues. We show you what that tongues mean. Brothers started speaking in tongues, and this is the sign for people that don't believe. We go, rah, I believe now. The brothers that already believed, it wasn't a sign for them. Why? They was already at Pentecost. They was already there, keeping at the feast of Pentecost, Salakia. They was already there speaking in tongues, a sign for people that don't believe. We'll show you what that means. Keep it in.
But for them which believed, if therefore the whole church be one tongue unto one place, and all speak with the tongue, and there come in those that are unlearned or unbelievers, will they not say they are mad?
There you go. So everyone spoke the same language. So Paul did the flip side, saying speaking tongues is a good thing as well. You need brothers that speak in other tongues, other languages. If everyone spoke in one language, or everyone, you know, to be showing up how much language to speak, people say, yo, are they mad? Like, what language they speaking? I don't understand what they're speaking. Keep it in.
24. But if all prophesy, and they come in one that believeth not.
But if you stop for a second trying to show the world how much language you speak and prophesied, keep it in.
Or one unlearned is convinced of all, this is judged of all.
There you go. So if one came in that believed, that didn't believe Salakia, you edified him, then you gain yourself a brother, man. You know what I mean? It's like, well, all right, no, so give me Acts 2, is it?
Acts 2, yes.
No, sweat. Yeah, Acts 2. So this is the miracle that they like to use. A miracle happened on the day of Pentecost where people started speaking in tongues, the whole house. And it happened, people started speaking in tongues, but listen, tongues just mean another language, man. You know what I mean? So give me Acts 2 and 1. No, sorry. When you ready, Mom? All right.
Oh, sorry. Thought the other guy was going to do. Acts 2, verse 1. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all in one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind. And
So the day of Pentecost, you know, in the Bible, Salakia, there's holy days. You know what I mean? There's holy days that we observe, just like Muslims got theirs, Christians got theirs. You know what I mean? Being black and Hispanic, there's holy days that we must remember, man. And these days are significant. They're significant with our history, with our foreparents, our forefathers. They mean something to us, man. Passover is the day that we came out of Egypt. The day of freedom. Imagine a day, black man, where there's no more drugs, no more black on black crime, no more police brutality. You would mark that day and say, you know what? I'm going to remember this day every year, man. I'm going to remember this day annually. And we got that in the Bible. You know what I mean? And in this chapter here, there's one called Pentecost. You know what I mean? Which is Pentecost is 50 days after the Lord's Passover. That's why it's called Pentecost. Pent means 5, like a pentagram. 50 days after the Passover is another holiday. And this was the day that the brothers came together to, to observe this holy day. This is the New Testament, the book of Acts, man. So how some Christian gonna say, oh, all that Passover done away with, man? Christ nailed that to the cross. So how come Christ has died here and risen and gone to the Father, and his disciples still keeping the day of Pentecost, man? Someone got to explain that to me. I thought that was nailed to the cross. I thought it was nailed to the cross. Why are his disciples still keeping and observing the day of Pentecost, man? Yeah, if you could. So go on, have a rest. I'll let you read the whole chapter still. It must be. Yeah, one moment. Read again, verse 2 and 1. Acts 2 and 1.
So like me?
No. It's 2. I've got to read it here. So I can edge it.
Good enough.
No, so any question on that?
All right, Acts 2 and 5.
2 and 1.
All right, Acts chapter 2 and verse 1. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place.
So everybody was in one place, man. That defeats the whole world. You can have your Passover over here, I have mine over here. Nah, man, they was in one place, man. The Lord said everyone must come to Jerusalem. That's the one place, man. UPK, you have Passover in one place, man. That's how we do it, man. You can't say, well, I'm with this Israelite group, I'm with that one. We keep ours on 25th, we keep ours 24th, so all in one place, man. That's what the Bible means by one body, man. One accord. Keep it in.
And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind.
So imagine in the Feast of Pentecost, you hear a sound like a mighty wind, man. You know what I mean? Just whoosh, like some sort of tornado, man. That's what your brother heard. You know, imagine he's eating your unleavened bread, chilling. This whoosh, man, this tornado sound. Keep it in.
And it filled all the house where they were sitting.
And it filled the house where they were sitting, the building that they were sitting in, man. Filled it, keep it in.
And there appeared unto them cloven tongues, like as of a fire.
Keep it in.
And it sat upon each of them.
There you go. And a gushing wind came in, and the Spirit sat upon all of them that was in the building at that time. Keep it in.
And they were filled with the Holy Spirit.
And they were filled with the Holy Spirit, man. You want to know what the Holy Spirit means? All you got to do is ask it on Thursday, man. It's another breakdown. They're all filled with the Spirit of the Most High, man. Keep it in.
And began to speak with other tongues.
And they began to speak with other tongues, man. Brothers started to speak with other tongues. Imagine I speak English, and then out the blue, boom, I'm speaking fluent French. Never been to France in my life, man. That was a miracle right here. That was the miracle Paul was speaking about when he goes, speak in tongues for people that do not believe, man. A man's supposed to go, yo, Lord's with these brothers. Look, they're speaking in French and they've never been to France in their life. And listen, if we read on, it will say that. Keep it in.
As the Spirit gave them utterance.
Keep it in.
And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews.
Who?
Jews.
Who?
Jews.
And that's who's at the Feast of Pentecost, man. Jews, man. You know what I mean? Caucasians weren't there. You know what I mean? Paul went out there and taught brothers the truth, man. Peter, Mark, Luke went out there and taught brothers the truth, man. And these brothers were all here on the day of Pentecost. And guess who's here? Just Jews, man. In the New Testament, I thought Christ died for everybody, man. How come after Christ is ascended and dead, on the day of Pentecost, just Jews are there, man? Just Jews alone. No Chinese man ain't there. No Africans ain't there. No East Indians ain't there. Just Jews, man. Keep it in.
Devout men.
And who's there?
Devout men.
Jews, devout men, devoted men. Men that love the truth, man. Men that ain't out there smoking the life way, drinking the life way. Men that, love the law, that don't smoke weed, don't eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. Men that have changed their life. Devoted men. Keep it in.
Out of every nation under heaven.
And these were Jews out of every nation under heaven. What does that mean? How can you be a Jew, but be a part of every nation under heaven. A Christian will allow the Jew part. Say these men were from every nation under heaven. That means the Chinese were there and the Africans were there. Remember, they're from every nation under heaven. But the Bible don't say that. The Bible says they're Jews out of every nation under heaven. How can you be a Jew but from every nation under heaven? Come on, Mousa.
Say that again, sir.
How can you be a Jew but from every nation under heaven?
Because you were scattered in all nations.
There you go, man. Give that a hand, man. These were Jews from every nation under heaven, man. So you had people like myself, man, that were Jews but from Britain. You had people like Ira, man, that were Jews but from Carousel, man, from Holland, man. You had Jews from Jamaica, Jews from Puerto Rico, from Mexico. Because these brothers were scattered amongst all nations. Why? Because we disobeyed God, man. And one of our punishments is that we will go into slavery, man. And when you go to slavery, you go to different nations, you learn their languages. And that's why you're a Jew under every nation in heaven, under the earth. Keep it in.
Verse 6. Now, when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together, and they were confounded.
And the multitude came together. Multitude is a number of people. They came together and they was confounded. I mean, they was confused. We done?
Because that every man heard them speak in his own
And
language.
that is tongues right there, man. A language. The miracle was these men were speaking another language. And it said everybody was confused because they heard their disciples speak in their language. Imagine I come to Pentecost all the way from France, and I see Luke speaking in French. I'm like, no, I'm confused. How did this happen? That when the Bible goes to spoke in different tongues, it's letting you know they spoke in everyone's language, man. It was a miracle that these brothers that never went to France in their life could speak in French, never went to Spain in their life could speak in Spanish. That was the miracle right there, man. The speak in tongues was speaking in a different language, and the whole multitude was confused. Like, how is that possible? Keep it in.
And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another.
And they were all amazed, and marvel and amazed means like, wow, how is that possible? All the men was marveled, or amazed, astonished, like, would you look at this? We done?
Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans?
So hold on, these men are speaking, are they not from Galilee? Are these men speaking here, are they not Galileans? I mean, these from Galileans? These men are from Britain. Keep it in.
And how hear we, every man in our own tongue, wherein we were born?
So hold on, these men are from Galilee. So why do I hear them speak in Spanish, man? Why do I hear them speak in the language that I speak when I was born? How is that possible, man? That was the miracle, man. The disciples would not speak in an unknown tongue that nobody understands. They would speak in a different tongue, man, different language than the people around them, than from where they was born, from where they grew up. That's what it meant, man. Imagine, like, hold on, these men are French. So how is it I'm hearing them in English? Where I was born? How is that possible? That's why they was marveled, man. Read that one more time.
And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, behold, are not all these which speak Galileans?
So it said, hold on, ain't these men here, these men that are speaking, are they not Galileans? Are these that speak Galileans? That's what the Bible is saying here. Hear them?
And how hear we?
So it said, how can I hear them? How is it possible? We done?
Every man in our own tongue.
So it said, how is it you're speaking to me but I understand you? That's a miracle, man. Imagine that other one. Imagine the spirit comes upon man. You're speaking English, but what's coming at your face is a different language. And men are listening and understanding. Oh, that's deep, man. That's deep. And the Lord did that miracle. Why? So the truth could be spread throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Or what Christians call the gospel. And these men took it back to their own land, man, and taught more people. That's why it happened, man. Keep it in.
Wherein we were born, the Parthians and Medes.
Parthians, Medes. These are what languages that spoke in the earth, man. These are nations of people that spoke a language, and the Parthians and the Medes, they're always edified, they're all understood.
They're in India.
The Parthians and Medes are India, the Medes
India.
and the Persians. So these are brothers that was living in India for whatever reason, probably migrated or slave, who even knows. But these are brothers that came to the day of Pentecost. So these are Mawasa, you see these brothers here, these Parthians and Medes. How do we know that they're Israelites and not real Parthians and Medes?
Because when they were gathered in in one place, even though they were speaking one different language, they all come to the gathering at that time of the year that we're supposed to meet up in.
There you go. Verse 2 said what? There was in Pentecost Jews.
But
devout men.
Salaki, sir.
So like go on.
Salaki, when you say the Persians and Medes, the Persian and Medes could not be Elamite, because the Elamite would be like the Indian people.
No, Persians and Medes are Indian, for what I know. You can further class you go in depth, but again, what I'm sure, Persians and Medes are East Indians today.
But I thought the Persians and the Medes were those people that whatever. All right.
No, Persia is Iran. Slovakia.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Persia is Iran. So the Elamites would be the Indians.
Yo, Elamites are Indians, but remember, Elam, a lot of nations are also Elam. For instance, Pakistanis are Elamites. Because if you do history, Pakistanis had an argument with the whole Gandhi business, and they broke up and made their own country. Afghanistan also are Elamites. If you do the history, Afghanistan was a part of India one time. They broke up as well. So it could. So just because you see a nation today that's not India, don't people they Elamites, they're Persian, because some countries break off from other countries, have wars and accept their own thing. You feel me? So I believe in the Persians the same thing, but don't quote me. Just bring it to Captain Prussia on Thursday. But I believe so. I believe India, I see it today, was bigger. Bangladesh was a part of India. Some argument, we want to be Muslim and you want to be idolatry worshippers. So they broke off. So now they speak different languages, but they're all the same people at one time. Common history, you can Google that. You know what I mean? Afghanistan, same thing. So
Okay. Why I said that? I think that the Persian and the Medes was more like from the Greek side.
Greek, no. Persians and Medes are clearly more Indian-looking people. They're not Caucasian-looking people. They're not. Persia is Syria. They'll tell you. They tell you. Ask a Persian man where he comes. Ask a Syrian man where he comes from. Who say a lot of them say I'm from Syria, formerly known as Persia. They'll tell you. That's the Bible's correct. The title state. You know what I mean? But yeah, the best thing to do is bring it on Thursday. That's where brothers will stop everything and go into it and so forth. So again, I can't right now. I don't have the information on me right now. Keep reading verse 9, Baba Kushar. So yeah, the Bible goes. The men that was here at this event was Jews. So and they was dwelling at Jerusalem, Jews. So these Parthians, these Medes are what? They're Jews, man. You see me? Like someone might look at my passport and say, "Well, Kraft is English," which I am, but I'm not the same English as Tony Blair. I'm not the same English as David Beckham. I'm a different type of English. You know what I mean? So these men were Parthians. The word means they speak the language, and they didn't even live there. They were citizens of that country, but they weren't those people. There were people dwelling there, man. There were Jews dwelling in all nations, dwelling in Persia, dwelling in Medes. Keep reading.
Reading on. And Elamites and the dwellers in Mesopotamia.
Elamites, East Indians, dwellers of Mesopotamia, who had dwelt in that area. Mesopotamia is like Iraq in the Middle East and so forth. Men that dwelled there. Keep reading.
And in Judea.
And even in Judea, men that actually spoke Hebrew. Keep reading.
And in Cappadocia.
And in Cappadocia, I can't remember that. Carry on.
In Pontus.
Can't remember that. No, can't remember that. Carry on.
And Asia.
And Asia, which is Europe today. Not when the Bible says Asia. I know people out there saying, Asia ain't Europe, you clown. Asia's Asia, man. Asia's China and Pakistan. In the Bible, when it talks about Asia, it's talking about
the Near East.
Oh,
not the Far East.
Called,
like a Turkey and
the name for it, man.
Asiaticus.
Not the name for Asia it's talking about. I can't remember, but anyway, it's talking about. Is it called Near Asia?
Near Asia,
it's called Near Asia anyway, not Far Asia, not Far East. It's talking about Europe. You can Google it in your own time. the Asia is talking about is Turkey, Greece, and then that's why Paul got books called the Romans, Colossia, all these places. Asia Minor, it's called Asia,
Asia
Minor,
Minor, yeah.
Slovakia, it's called Asia Minor. Damn, it's killing me. That I'm getting old, man. Like, keep reading.
Phrygia, Pamphylia, in Egypt, and in parts of Libya
So
about
Egypt,
Cyrene,
Libya, Cyrene, you done?
and the strangers of Rome.
Strange our brothers that was in Rome. Hence, when you got the book of Rome, the book of Rome ain't written. The book Romans ain't written to white people, man. My dad tried to tell me that the Bible's a white man's book, man. The first epistle by Paul called the Romans, man. You know the Romans are white, and the Romans are white people, but it's not written to white Romans, man. It's written to black people that live in Rome, man. So like, if you want to prove it, Mama Star, get me Rome, what the book of Rome 101.
Romans 101.
Yeah, please, Baba Kushar, man.
Hold on. Acts Romans.
The book of Rome is a book that Paul wrote to brothers living in Rome. And so give me verse 7.
Romans 1 verse 7.
Yeah, man. Paul wrote a book. He wrote a letter. And when you write a letter, you address the letter, man. You say, you know, if you're writing a letter, you say, Dear Mr. Smith, Dear Mr. That. And Paul wrote a letter. And the first thing he said in verse 7, this is what he said.
Salaki. Romans 1 verse 7. To all that be in Rome.
And Paul wrote
beloved
the letter.
God.
Before Paul posted anything, he wrote a letter. He was writing a letter to all that be in Rome. You done?
Beloved of God. Called to be saints. Grace
And
to
Paul
you
said-
and peace.
Paul said, listen, grace to you and peace, shalom, shalom to you, brothers. Like what you say when you answer the phone, hello. You be polite. And Paul started writing his letter to all those that are called to be saints, man. Who are the saints according to the Bible? Anyone know?
Say again. Let's break up.
Who are the saints? Paul starts the book off with, you know what I mean, shalom, wagwan, everyone cool. You know what I mean? And writing to all those in Rome that are saints.
The
Who are the
saints are the
saints?
12, the saints are the 12 tribes.
There you go. Give me Psalms 148 and 14. Get one quick one. Psalms 148 and 17. 14 slack here. There's loads of scriptures proving that black people are the saints. But I'm gonna get this one
Yeah,
time's sake.
bear with me. 48. And
Yeah.
verse
Verse 14.
Psalms 148 verse 14.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because Psalms 148 don't go to 9.
No, Psalms 148 and 14.
I got it. No sweat.
No, so else we got it.
Psalms 148 and 14. He also exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints,
All is who?
all his saints,
Talk about the Most High loves his saints, man. Keep it in.
even of the children of Israel.
And who are the saints?
The children of Israel.
And the Lord goes, he loves his saints, man. Even, which means indeed, the children of Israel, man. He's letting you know who the saints are. So he loves his saints, indeed, the children of Israel, man. He's letting you know who he is. That word even there means indeed, man. You can look it up in any dictionaries. Old English, the Bible was written in 1600s, man. Old English, and the word even there means indeed. Doesn't mean also. It means indeed, man. You know, if I go, yo, this is my baby. Yes, man, my car right here, I love it, man. I'm letting you know what my baby is, man. The God saying, listen, the Lord loves his saints, man. Yes, indeed, he loves the children of Israel. That's who the saints are, man. This is old English, you know, it's hard to understand, but that's why we're at class, man. That's where you can learn, man. Go back to Romans again, Romans 1 and 7.
Romans 1 verse 7. Come on. Romans 1 verse 7. Come on.
Because you punch them keys hard, man. Just having a laptop, man. Yeah.
Romans 1 verse 7.
I'm punching them keys hard.
This damn thing just stuck sometimes. Romans 1 verse 7. Right. Yeah, it's lucky. To all, to all that being in Rome, beloved of God, called to be saints, grace to you and peace from our God, our Father.
So Paul writes a letter and he goes, listen to all them that are being Rome, peace to you, man, meaning what? Bless, respect, shalom, whatever the case may be. So what does that mean then? Does that mean this is verse 7? So anything you read in verse 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, chapter 2, chapter 3, 4, 5 is written to the saints, man. You don't apply to nobody else. So I don't want to hear someone say, but Paul said all that believe. Yeah, talking about all the Israelites that believe, man. That's the context right there, man. I can't believe we're supposed to be some niggas from the ends that didn't pass school, man. And we know more than you passed them, man. Something called context, man. Damn. You know what I mean? But learn some words, man. What does con mean? To bring together. And text means the text, the writing. You got to bring together the writing, man. Damn, something called context, man. Anyway, we'll go back to Acts 2.
Acts 2
Give me the Roman part.
and 10. And the strangers of Rome.
And that was the Romans talking about, them same strangers, man, that Paul said shalom to, man. Them same strangers. These ain't Romans, the strangers of Rome. Meaning what? They don't belong there, man. They're strange to that land. Like we're British by what? What's it called? Citizenship. But we're strange to Britain, man. We're not the original people of Britain. So even though we're technically British on the passport, we're not technically British at the same time. Keep it in.
Strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes.
Jews and proselytes. A Jew is a man born in Jerusalem. The Jew by blood, born in Jerusalem, kept every single Passover, circumcised. From birth, he's been keeping the traditions. And a proselyte is a Jew born by blood, but he's a convert. Is that right?
Yeah,
no. It's like you can't convert, but he's brought back. Meaning he was born uncircumcised. Born celebrating Christmas, kind of like us. And then later on, we told, listen, you shouldn't be doing that, man. You're a Jew, man. This is our customs. Christmas ain't our customs. A man that threw the Christmas tree away, took the weed down. That's a proselyte. So brothers that was born there and brothers that came back, keep it in.
Cretes and Arabians.
Cretes, Arabians, people that lived in the Middle East, the Arab land, Arabia.
The Cretes already said a city in Greece.
And Crete is a city in Greece. I believe even to this day as well. Keep it in.
We do hear them speak in our tongues.
And all these men, all these Jews from all different parts of the earth, like, wow, how can we hear these men in our language? Like, I come to Jerusalem, speaking your language. I'm surprised you don't know mine, speaking it well. That was the miracle, man. And the Lord, what it does is miracle to people that don't believe, man. So people go, right, this is deep, man. I need to get deep in this. Not to people that do believe, man. Keep it in.
In our tongues, the wonderful works of God.
And we're hearing our tongues. And how is it we hear the wonderful works of God in our tongues, man? These are breaking down the things Christ done, how Christ lived his life. And they're hearing it firsthand at the prophets, man, in their language that they speak. Keep it in.
And they were all amazed.
And they're all amazed like you would be. Even the brothers speaking in tongues must be amazed too. Like, how am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? How am I doing this, man? Speaking fluent French and Portuguese and Spanish and Dutch, and it's coming out my mouth easy, man. Keep it in.
And were in doubt, saying one to another, what meaneth this?
And they're in doubt, like, what does this mean? Like, what's the Lord trying to show us? You know what I mean? Like, certain things happen in the truth, and obviously, you don't know what it means. Or you get a dream and you're thinking, what does this mean? Like, what do I do with this? Like, what's the Lord trying to show me? Brothers were in doubt, saying, what's the meaning of this? Like, what's the Lord trying to show us? What's the Lord trying to do? Keep it in.
Others mocking said, these men are full of new wine.
So some men understood that this is from God, and they're trying to figure out what's it about. Others do the opposite. Like, these men are drunk, man. These men are something wrong with them. They're drunk. Like what people do today. What do people say about us? Oh, you're always shouting, man. Too loud, man. Oh, God, with that microphone. Some men try to understand and figure what's God trying to show me? This information is deep, man. The Jews are black. You also have the opposite. Other men mocking. Oh, you're loud, man. Oh, God, you're loud. Turn it down, man. Oof. It's a bit loud, isn't it? You turn it down a bit, maybe we'll listen. You always get both. You get people that try to understand and people that try to mock. You get me? Sorry, we don't.
But Peter, standing up with the 11, lifted up his voice and said unto them.
And this is for everybody that says, oh, you're too loud, man. So Peter stood up with the 11, man. Christ had 12 disciples. Judas killed himself, and they got another disciple. What comes his name? Matthias. They replaced him. You know what I mean? Peter was in charge. Christ had Peter in charge, so Peter had 12 men, and Peter stood up. And what else did he do?
And lifted up his voice.
Peter started shouting, man. For all you people saying you're too loud with that microphone. Oh God, it's loud. Listen, Christ was loud, man. Peter was loud, man. Isaiah said in the book of Isaiah 58, it says to raise your voice like a trumpet, man. Peter was loud. How else are you going to speak to loads of people, man? How is it even possible? When you go to the cinemas, the music's loud, man. Why? So everybody can hear it, man. Every cinema is music loud as shit. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
You're speaking behind you. It's loud, man. It has to be because there's loads of people that need to hear it, man. How is it we've been having this argument? As the Bible says, how be it we've been having this argument, man? Of course, we got to be loud because everyone needs to hear, man. Keep reading.
And said unto them, ye men of Judea, and all ye that dwell at Jerusalem, be this known unto you.
And Paul said, listen, know this. You know, what the man said at the end, man? He said, know this. I hate to play. Paul said, let this be known to you. He said, you men listening at Jerusalem and all over, let this be known to you, man. Know this, understand this, man. Keep reading.
And hearken to my words.
And listen to what I'm saying. Keep reading.
For these are not drunken.
Then these men are not drunk, man. You listen to this talking about men are drunk. These men are not drunk, man. Keep reading.
As ye suppose.
As you think, we done.
Seeing it is but the 3rd hour of the day.
So it's too early, man. Might not get drunk so early in the day. What's 3rd hour of the day? 3 o'clock. Is it?
I'm not too sure. Biblical direct.
Today, the 3rd hour of the day is what, 3 o'clock?
3 a.m.
3 a.m. It's too early. It's too early, man. Damn, you know what I mean? It's 3 a.m. in the morning. It's night time still. You know what I mean? Man is still tired. It's too early. So saying these men are not drunk. It's too early for that, man. Keep reading.
But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel.
Saying, listen, these men are not drunken. What you're seeing here is what was prophesied in the book of Joel, man. And it's mad because Paul prophesied it earlier. Didn't Paul prophesy earlier? Said about speaking a new language.
Mm-hmm.
Joel prophesied it too. And guess what? Peter right now is going to bring it that same scripture. Like what we do. We tell brothers, listen, slaves in the Bible, show me. We go there, man. Saying Deuteronomy, Moses prophesied about it. And Peter said the same thing. Keep it in.
And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith the Most High, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams.
There you go. Say, listen, this is what the prophet spoke about. This ain't no men drunk. The same book that we read. This is a prophecy coming to pass, man. You know about young men dreaming dreams, prophesying. We done?
Verse 18, and on my servants and on my handmaidens I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. And I will show wonders in heaven above.
That's it, basically. Okay, that's the class. Any questions to wrap up into the prayers and then to what? Any questions about yourself?
Announcement. So that was a powerful class. Let's give Officer Crawford a hand first and foremost. Down. Right, ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Johanna. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or to speak to a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashara, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or a teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations is the Feast of Purim in February. We'll get the date for you. All Acumen Aqua, check the bulletin board in the hallway and check all ISUPK social media. So Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Google My Business. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarves. And with that, I'm Madiam. Get to the Lord's Prayer. We're going to rise and face the east. And the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwavka, Thaba'ah, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawar, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathunlanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawafyanawa, Wala'a, Thabayayanawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahathapara, La'aiwalamyam. Amen. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be. And with that, we're going to give the teacher one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I'm Madiam Shabbat. I'm Madiam Barak. Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Barak Athar. Yad Yamata. Class dismissed.